So we're not getting the info, uploading it on the internet, shooting it out to different lenders. So that leads me right into, and this is kind of gearing up towards the end, is the process that we have at Commercial Finance Partner. We almost always start with a 15 to 30 minute conversation where we're asking basic questions from an underwriting perspective. A little bit about you, what your business does, how you do it, how you operate, how you charge for your services, how you collect. Like, these are the things we want to know. Because then at that point, what I could do based on this information and based on what your goals are, what you're trying to do, I could then figure out what is a strategy. Once we know and say, all right, we know what the strategy is, you'll say, this is the documents that you need for this type of financing. So I'm not sending you a long laundry list of all kinds of crazy information that I don't need, okay? And that's very important because it's not wasting your time. And you know what to expect. So you come out of the call knowing there's a strategy, and you know what documents, you know what you're going to need to get together, right? The next thing from there is once we receive the information. So when we get the information from you, everything stays in-house, right? So we're not getting the info, uploading it on the internet, shooting it out to different lenders. We're keeping it in-house, and we do somewhat of what we call an overnight analysis, right? But then at that point, what happens is we go into our internal underwriting process. Then we have an internal underwriter that's going to review the notes, they're going to review the calculations, they're going to look at it from the type of lens that that lender might look at something. So we're not going to look at an SBA file in the same way we would look at an inventory finance file because they're two different types of underwriting. So we're going to kind of play as if we are the underwriter at a specific lender. But if we can do this, and by the way, in this process, if we can't do it, we're going to tell you that, hey, either on the first call, I might tell you there's nothing we can do. But if we do all of this, then we can do strategic lending placement. All right, what I mean by that is that, remember, thinking back to the SBA loans, there's different lenders that are doing different types of deals, okay? But we don't have to shop you around and go to 5 different lenders or 10 different lenders and start shooting your information all over the place. We can go specifically to a certain lender because we know what their credit box is, we know what they're looking for, you fit what they're looking for. It should have a high chance of success. And that's really what we do. So again, no shopping around. And then we work with you as the client the entire step of the way. So again, we don't charge any upfront fees like I mentioned.